is so great that people who hate it refuse to leave it. It's like the game room in a mental hospital.
Let's see if it's abused by anybody else before we make that decision.
I'm just telling you, I'm going to abuse it. Is it true that growing up, Senator Cruz had an imaginary friend who his parents actually preferred? America is so great that people who hate it refuse to leave it.
I'll only leave when you are no longer a Somalian cash cow.
Let me ask you something. When is the last time you heard of someone trying to sneak into China?
Nobody sneaks into China.
I believe that we don't have a gun control problem. We have an idiot control problem. Some time ago, a friend of mine told me, he gave me some good advice. He said, always be yourself, unless you suck. If the government ever tells you you can't own a gun, buy two. Here's a free tip. Cops will leave you alone if you don't do illegal stuff.
Thank you for your cooperation. Good night.
Somebody asked me yesterday to describe it. I said, it's like the game room in a mental hospital. And I have to tell you, I don't hate anybody. I don't mean any disrespect. But based on her policies and beliefs, Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez is single-handedly trying to put an end to dumb blonde jokes. My mother didn't raise a fool. And as I've said before, she did. It was one of my brothers. Those who have read history, Kaylee, understand that socialism is for morons. I love Seattle. They just elected a new mayor. I don't know her, but I've read a lot about her. She's a typical moon bat. She's a community organizer. Probably eats tofu and organic broccoli. I guess what I just said is kind of mean. I'll stop being mean if she'll stop being foolish. Chuck kept saying, we got this. But none of them had it, and they all needed therapy. She must be bilingual. She's speaking English and stupid. The Chinese Communist Party will steal the hair off your head.
I think I know how to handle it. And get
I think you're a star-spangled awesome chairman. I just want to say that for the record. But if you're going to let somebody over there go 3 minutes over, I want my extra 3 minutes.
Well, let's see if it's abused by anybody else before we make that decision.
I'm just telling you, I'm going to abuse it. Are you telling me the Columbia administration and the faculty was supportive of the Jewish community?
I think that they are.
You need to stop dipping into your ketamine stash.
Into what? Excuse me?
I understand I listened carefully to your testimony. You'll understand you to assert that you believe you're the person to clean up the FDIC?
I do, Senator.
Do you also believe that Elvis is alive?
Not to my knowledge, Senator.
Fine room.
Do you also believe in Bigfoot?
No, sir.
Have you read this report?
Senator, I worked for Senator Cruz for 3 years.
Okay. Did you work closely with him?
I would say so, Senator, yes.
Okay. Is it true that Senator Cruz can burp the alphabet backwards?
Senator, I've been instructed not to reveal that.
Is it true that growing up, Senator Cruz had an imaginary friend who his parents actually preferred?
Senator, I have no such knowledge.
First reason I came to the floor tonight is to say to my colleagues, pretty please, with sugar on top. I'll even add a cherry. I'll even throw in a coupon for a personal pan pizza. American people saw what I saw, what you saw for years with respect to President Biden. And I'm sorry President Biden is sick. But we all saw the same thing for years. We saw a president who couldn't finish a sentence without taking a nap. We saw a president who, an elderly man who talked like he was from outer space. He walked like he was underwater. You could bake a Thanksgiving turkey in the time it took him to walk across the stage. If they want to start charging the United States and the UK £9 billion for a 99-year lease. So we can lease our own military base. All because the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom feels guilty because somebody, some tofu-eating wokarati at the United Nations says they're bad people, bad colonial. And look, I'm all for them. I think Elon Musk is a rock star. The tofu crowd is mad, but you know, when you trim fat, pigs squeal. I think most fair-minded Americans think today's Democratic Party looks like the game room in a mental hospital. It's exquisitely shambolic. The only thing the Democrats contribute to the discussion is just a bunch of rabid barking. Who let the dogs out? The president says Putin has changed. He hasn't changed. Putin is and always has been a pirate. He's got blood under his fingernails. He's a butcher of his own people. And he's not going to change his behavior until he's forced to.
Yo ho, a pirate's life for me.
If you want to be taken seriously, act seriously. Because his conduct toward President Trump's hand of peace has been despicable. It would gag a maggot. Just a thought, but they may want to consider first getting rid of their man purses and their organic broccoli. Dark woke, light woke, mellow yellow woke, it's still woke. And that's the Democrats' problem. If you believe the polls, Jason, most Americans believe that Republicans aren't perfect, but they think the other side's crazy. They think that Democrats, like Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez, have chosen to become what my son would call utter nutters. I listened to her speech. I understand her slogan is going to be change begins with a mustard seed, which I think is interesting. I guess if Governor Pritzker runs, his slogan will be, you can have a tummy and still be yummy. I just think with the Congresswoman, if you scratch the surface, you get more surface. I don't think she has the intellectual firepower to run a campaign to be president, but I hope she does. He's very smart. On the other hand, Chuck's often wrong. He never makes the same mistake twice. He makes it 5 or 6 times just to be sure. We've all seen the news. He's about as popular as chlamydia. What it tells me is that the loon wing of the Democratic Party is firmly in control.
Those banks in Qatar value greatly their ability to have a relationship with the United States because that's how they make money.
Do you believe in the tooth fairy?
Ultimately, if we cut off those banks, they will no longer be able to make money.
Do you believe in the Easter Bunny?
Senator, there is absolutely no doubt
in the FBI's mind
It
whether former President Trump was hit with a bullet and wounded in the ear. No doubt there never has been.
Okay.
I've been part of this investigation since the very beginning, and that has never been raised.
You're sure?
Yes.
It wasn't a space laser.
No.
It wasn't a murder hornet.
Absolutely not.
It wasn't Sasquatch.
No, Senator.
I had two reactions to her interview. Unsurprised, unimpressed. I'm a pretty simple guy. I like breakfast food and straight answers. What I heard her say basically was, I do too have values. And if you don't like them, I have others. I thought she engaged in tier 1 level pandering. It was sort of like a wolf promising to be a vegan if the sheep will just vote for it. I was just going to say, the president believes if you're going to be a bear, be a grizzly. Like him or dislike him, agree or disagree, right now he's being a grizzly. Once again, intelligence is chasing the Biden administration, but the Biden administration is managing to beat it. President Biden says that the economy is just fine. He says the economy is just wonderful. And I'll tell you what my people say. My people say, with respect, Mr. President, you need to put down the bong. You need to put down the bong. I think it's Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez. And as I said before, she's entitled to her opinions. You know, my personal opinion is that God gave her a billy goat brain and a mockingbird mouth. You're not allowed to fire bad employees, to fire bad teachers. You're not allowed to cut wasteful spending. You're not allowed to deport illegal immigrants. You're not allowed to oppose MS-13. You're not allowed to like cops. You're not allowed to prosecute thieves who steal less than $950. You're not allowed to question vaccines. You're not allowed to oppose sex change operations for minors or transgender people in women's bathrooms or playing women's sports. You're not allowed to oppose critical race theory in our schools. You're not allowed to oppose reading porn to grade schoolers. You're not allowed to oppose racial quotas. But you are required to use certain pronouns and to believe that men can breastfeed. When you have hypothermia, you don't strip naked and run in the snow. Tariffs are like whiskey. A little whiskey under the right circumstances can be refreshing. Too much whiskey under the wrong circumstances, and you end up drunk as a goat. Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. These people are about 10 exits past normal. The party is controlled right now by people who majored in online activism with a minor in puberty blockers. They're worried that she was that kid in grade school who ate paste. People are worried that if she walked by a polygraph machine, the dang thing would explode.
We've been to the border.
He basically used the Democrats as a chew toy. I find it extraordinary that anyone can be opposed to election integrity. That's like being opposed to children or prosperity or golden retrievers. Well, let me apologize in advance for any mean, ugly, accurate things I'm about to say. Senator Schumer has a bill, as you said, Endless Frontiers Act. It is right now before the Senate. It is an orgy of spending, and very little bit of the money goes to the military. Here is a copy of the bill. Senator Schumer is ecstatic. He's running around like a 5-year-old in a Batman costume. Here's what the bill will do. $120 billion in foreign aid. I don't know why we can't use that money for infrastructure. I don't know why we have to give money to countries that hate us. They should be able to hate us for free.